So, I know a lot of people have been asking when I was going to do another video of this, and it was mostly because Jason and I hadn't really had a lot of progress as of late because of personal lives, and we don't get paid for writing fan fiction, so it's not it's a thing that we basically have to do on free time, and also a want for it. So yeah, but now that we're actually having new stuff, now that we're actually having more stuff being put out for this, I can actually talk about it. And what is it? It's the Infinityverse. For any new subscribers out there, the Infinityverse is basically a fanfiction shared universe that my friend Jason Voorhees 2011 and I created. I used to do a lot of updates talking about certain aspects of the universe, or talking about how this franchise fits into the universe, or talking about what certain aspects of it. And I haven't done a video in a while because, again, we haven't really updated anything, but we've been recently updating, in fact, bringing in a new story called Roanapur Nights, which is a adaptation of the Mandrapore Nights storyline that is being done with Wolverine, Captain America, and Black Widow. Jason's doing all that one. It's a short team-up story. And we also updated Savage's Reign in Hell, which is going to have a lot of effect for the Infinityverse, supernatural-wise, by the end of it. I'm not going to say how, but it is going to have some major effects to it. Anyway, so as you can see from this video, we're going to be talking about what counts as what's going to be canon and what's not. Now, keep in mind, there may be things that may change, or we're kind of up in the air about, but there are some that are definitively not going to be canon, but not in the way you think. And again, you're probably thinking, well, it's fan fiction, you could just fit it in wherever. You see, we kind of abide by our own rules of having if a franchise we don't know or or we but know it can't fit here in either the main universe, which is Earth Prime, or even in Multiverse, we're just not going to have it. But that isn't to say that we wouldn't reference it or have certain elements to it, things like that. So this is an updated video of that stuff, of what's not canon, because we've added some new stuff that is yeah, we like it, but we don't think it's gonna fit in either Multiverse or main universe. But we do, it'll be probably referenced, but however, that doesn't mean it's not going to be referenced as oh, it's over there, a cheeky reference, or be referenced in-universe or multiverse as a game or a show they watch or something of that nature. So yeah, it's kind of counted canon in other ways, but yeah. So, and also there are some that we may, we just don't have I don't know, kind of a question mark on, and it's up in the air. So yeah, but these are the ones that are kind of are pretty much definitively not going to be canon in the main in the Infinityverse. So let's kind of go through some of the those names right now. Starting off, I guess we'll talk about it now. Let's talk about the big four anime: Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, One Piece, Bleach. None of them are canon. None of them are a part of this universe. I've kind of talked about it before, is that Jason's not really a fan of those anime, and he is just as much a contributor as I am, and I'm not a big fan of three of those anime. And also, in regards to Dragon Ball Z, I've talked about this before, is that it would just be Goku ex machina. We could just bring Goku in and deal with any problem. Even if it is multiverse, they could just be oh, let's go get Goku or Vegeta or Piccolo. Those characters are so OP that it doesn't matter. Also, we already kind of have a godlike character in the main universe, as kind of our main OP character, our, almost Superman level character, and that's Usagi, Sailor Moon, So it would be kind of redundant to have both Goku and Sailor Moon, especially if Sailor Moon's way more powerful. Just saying. But yeah, yeah. That's a joke, people. Relax. Unclench your buttholes. That was a joke. But yeah. So, however, they will be referenced as anime. Like, they're actually, like, in the universe, they'll be referenced as anime that people watch. We've actually made a reference to Dragon Ball Z as an anime in the Dark Phoenix storyline. So yeah, they are considered anime in that universe, in that fanfiction universe. But yeah, following that, we have one that is recent. This is one Jason was like, yeah, I don't feel like we should put this in here, and I was like, you're right. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is none other than that one, ladies and gentlemen, is Warhammer 40k. Warhammer 40k was one I was kind of like thinking on, like, could it work in multiverse? Could it work in, obviously not main universe, but could it work as a multiverse? And because there were so many characters I wanted to use in that universe, I really wanted to use several characters from the Warhammer 40k universe for multiverse stories. But the thing of it is that Jason kind of pointed out, like, these characters are kind of OP, man, and I don't know a lot about Warhammer to begin with. Like, Jason was like, I don't know a lot about Warhammer, and it's very expansive, which he's right, it is. And he was just like, yeah, it just feels like these characters are too OP. And even I said that that the characters are that Warhammer characters are also a bit OP, because, like, if we brought the Tyranids into the main universe, Tyranids win. If we brought the Orcs into the main universe, they'd be nothing but a problem. If we brought Chaos, like one of the Chaos Gods, into the main universe, or made them a thing, if we made the Chaos Gods like a legit pantheon, the Chaos Gods would be nothing short of just an actual fucking problem. So therein lies the problem in of itself, is because, yeah, every one of them, it's just a matter of, if we brought the Necrons in, it would just be game over for everybody else. Which sucks, because I really wanted to use I really wanted to use Troz in the Infinite in the Infinityverse. I really want him to be like this snarky, like, Brainiac in a way, because that's really what he is just Brainiac with a lot of snark. But yeah, so Warhammer 40k is not canon. It'll probably be brought up as some of the characters are like fans of Warhammer 40k, like they read the books and play the tabletop game and stuff like that. But that's as far as it's gonna go for Warhammer in the Infinityverse. As for others, like I said, the Big Four anime, not in there. Demon Slayer, not gonna be in there. Although, actually, no, Demon Slayer's not gonna be in here. There's Attack on Titan is kind of already in there. I kind of snuck it in, and Jason was like, alright, fucking fine. So, Attack on Titan is in the multiverse that we have. There is also Gundam. Gundam is up in the air. So yeah, Gundam is up in the air. Yeah. So yeah, Gundam is up in the air. Zoids is up in the air. I would probably say no. It's probably going to be a no for either, because, like, again, Gundam is so expansive and Zoids is so expansive, it'd be hard to pick which series to follow. So it's going to be a probable no. For other franchises, Game of Thrones, probably because neither of us are fans of it, so it'll probably just be referenced as a show for everyone to talk about in the series. Who else? Like, what? Yeah, Game of Thrones, not canon. It's just going to be a TV show in that fanfiction universe. A few other things, like a few video games, Bioshock. Bioshock's kind of in the maybe category right now. That all depends on if Jason agrees to it. I kind of would like to have Bioshock, but again, it's just a matter of how to place it. Like, that's the other thing of what makes it, of what we decide of what counts as canon, either in the main universe or the multiverse, because we have rules that we got to follow, and also, like, how do we fit this universe, this franchise into this universe and make it work? So that's kind of the thing with fucking Bioshock, is like, okay, fucking how do we fit this in? So I will say Bioshock is a definite maybe. Could be canon, could be not. Could be just a video game. since I'm on video games, I'm looking at my video game collection right now. I'm just kind of looking at like what's canon and what could be canon and what's not. Halo's probably going to be a no. Halo's probably going to be a no. It's a franchise that is kind of expansive in itself, and also if you just brought the Flood into the main universe is going to get fucked. It's again going back to like with Warhammer isn't going to be canon, because if you brought the Tyranids or the Necrons or the Orcs, they just fuck up the main universe, or fuck up any universe. Really, that's how it goes. So yeah, there's that. There is that. Looking through, Red Dead Redemption is canon. Is going to be canon. I figured out a way to make it fit. So yeah, Red Dead Redemption. I just looked at my game collection of it, and it's like, yeah, Red Dead Redemption's gonna be canon. Silent Hill is another one that's gonna be in the maybe pile. Is in the maybe pile. I'm gonna be honest. Silent Hill is a definite maybe. That depends more on if Jason agrees to it or not. Also, I should have brought this up sooner. I'm sorry I didn't, but I should have brought this up sooner. A couple things that are definitely not canon, but they are vaguely mentioned about, because it is kind of works in the story, but we're never going to use them in universe. Marvel and DC characters. Image, Marvel, no comic book characters. It's the whole thing is that it's meant to be characters outside of comics. That's the whole crux of this universe, is that it's a shared universe without comic book characters. Now, having said that, though, the Phoenix is really the only few things in comics that we use, and we do kind of roughly mention that it is the same Phoenix from the Marvel universe. We do have a way of explaining that, and it was also kind of the reason why is because the Dark Phoenix saga was something we were going to do as it's more or less a holdover from a story he and I were working on. And then I said, how about we just make a whole fanfiction universe since we're doing so many stories? And he was like, yeah. And we used that as the Phoenix story was already made, so it was a holdover. We're going to vaguely, and I do stress vaguely, reference the Marvel and DC universes. They're basically outside of the multiverse we have. It's just another universe that we're never going to go to, we're never going to see, but vaguely reference it. It's going to be to the main universe, it's going to be comics and movies for them. That's really what it is for them, is that it's more to them, it's comics and movies and merchandise to those characters. To everyone else, we know it's it's just another universe way out there. So yeah, Marvel, DC, Image, any comic book company or any majority of comic book franchises, they're out. That's not to say that there are some that are in. Ninja Turtles is in, mostly because it's been more known for cartoons than it has been for comics than anything else. And we will bring in comic book versions, new versions of comic book characters from Ninja Turtles. We've been talking about bringing in Jennika. Not going to say how, but Jennika, things like that. So we will cherry pick from those, but we're also again, we're not going to throw in, fuck the rules, we're going to bring in Spawn or something like that. It's the same thing of Hilda is a possibility, even though it was a comic book, but it is known for cartoon more. And it's also again, if someone says oh, why don't you just use the cartoon version of the Fantastic Four or Hulk or whatever? No Marvel, no DC, Image, IDW, some IDW stuff. Again, we are using characters from some IDW Transformers in the story, but again, it's adjacent to the animated shows. So there you go. That's as far as we bend the rules, but we don't break them in this whole thing. Assassin's Creed. I just saw because that was one that has been brought up. Assassin's Creed. Yeah, no. Assassin's Creed is not going to be canon. Again, it's going to be more of a video game. It was just way too complicated to talk about the Aesir and the secret war between the assassins and the Templars, the word got away from me, so yeah, that was a no. Another that I just saw is gonna be another. It's a no for me, dog. Is Doom. Shockingly, yeah, Doom is not gonna be canon. It is gonna be referenced. Like, we have made references to elements of Doom, but we just Jason and I talked about this, and we kind of came to the conclusion that Doom Guy is like how that version of Hell. It doesn't fit with the Hell we're using, which is Has Been Hotel / Hell of a Boss version of Hell, and we were just like, yeah, that Hell that we're seeing is different from the Hell we're using. So yeah, so Doom isn't really reference. The only references we're gonna have like Rip and Tear and things like that, but Doom Guy, like, we're also not gonna use any like units from Doom or the Angels you saw. But we are going to make, again, references. In fact, we've made a few references to, like, you know, Rip and Tear and things like that. But yeah, Doom itself, not going to be canon. Doom is definitely not going to be canon in this universe. Gears of War, that's a maybe. Because I'm only bringing up video games a lot because I'm looking at the video. Yeah, Gears of War is a solid maybe. We did canonize Ghost in the Shell. We did canonize Ghost in the Shell. That's in universe, but in the far future. So there is that. We also we canonized a few other things, but yeah. If you're wondering like what franchises are going to be yes or no or maybe, just leave a comment below and ask. There's so many. But yeah, just keep in mind this is just our universe. This is how we run things. And yeah. So, there you go. That's just a quick video. And again, I'll probably update this again, talk about when there's more franchises out and what's going to be canon and what's going to be not. Yeah, so figured I'd throw this out here. Anyway, so there you go, guys. That is pretty much a long-awaited Into the Infinityverse video. Once again, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.